What's up, everyone? Welcome to this day in Philly sports history for April 21st, 2023. I'm your host, Jim Montgomery. Eid Mubarak for anyone who celebrates. You may have noticed I don't have a door today. Nothing's crazy happening. It wasn't a Sixers rage last night. We're painting doors. So you might see a kid or two run through. You might hear some background noise, but we're painting doors. Quick update from yesterday. And again, I always say I want to make sure I'm giving you accurate information. I incorrectly said that the 03-04 Pistons had Ben Gordon. It was actually Ben Wallace. Ben Gordon was a completely different player. So it was Ben Wallace, not Ben Gordon. All right, I guess let's just start and go rip the Band-Aid off and start with the obvious. That was an ugly game. 100% ugly game. They got punched in the mouth, literally, at the beginning of the game. And Embiid is damn lucky he didn't get thrown out of that game. I've resigned to the fact he was going to get thrown out. You have to be better than that, knowing that a team like the Nets, who are just athletically and the skill level is not there with you, they're going to do things like that to get under your skin. And I think Joe has to be better and recognize that that's happening. So we called a break there, but it was just they came out ready to play. Sixers looked flat for most of the game. You could tell like Joe was just, I don't know whether he was pressing or what. Obviously they're double teaming him as well. The ejection of Harden is an absolute joke. I don't know if that was a makeup call or what, but as ugly as it was, it counts. They're up 3-0. I just feel they're going to close it out. That the Nets just they're just not there. They don't have the talent. I feel like they're going to close it out tomorrow afternoon. Then we get some time to rest. I'm anxious to see what the Celtics do tonight. And I mean, I'm telling you, that is going to be a battle, an absolute battle. So what we need to do is just go ahead and win that game tomorrow and then relax. Good game by Maxey again. He's been stepping up well. He had 25. He was the leading scorer. So we'll take it. It was ugly, but ugly wins count as well. Some Eagles news and a couple different things. I like the fact that Quez Watkins is pissed with the Olamide signing yesterday. And he said he's going to make the fans who are saying, oh, he's better than Quez, eat every fucking word. Guess what? I hope you do, dude. You cost us a Super Bowl in a way because that drop, I mean, it was right there. Completely swung the game differently. So I hope he comes back. I mean, competition is good. So the fact that you're fired up, you have a little bit of competition now, good. Maybe we get two good receivers out of it instead of just one. Also, they're bringing on Matt Patricia as a senior defensive assistant. I actually like this move as long as it's okay because has a history with Darius Slay. So I like the fact that they're bringing him on. He has the pedigree from New England. There's a young staff in place, so he can kind of serve as a mentor for those guys. Looking good. I like this pickup a lot, and I think he's going to bring a lot to the table, especially for young defensive coaching staff. Phillies, I mean, the offense was just, they're so inconsistent right now. And Matt Strahm did not pitch bad. 5 1/3, 11 Ks and 3 earned runs. I mean, not bad. You got to score runs, especially against the Rockies, who are one of the worst teams in the league. So a really bad loss for the Phils. I don't know. They just need to get that consistency on offense, and I don't know where it's going to come from. Maybe when Bryce comes back, who I see that he's really pushing this rehab. He was throwing 60 feet yesterday, which is an amazing thing considering he wasn't even supposed to be back until July. He's checking with the doctor on May 1st. Rob Thompson has already said that he's not going to do any minor league rehab starts. He's going to go right to the big club. So I guess essentially he could be back May 1st, depending on what the doctor diagnosis is and where they see he's progressing. But the fact that he's already throwing, kind of helps. He's probably going to go into DH first, but as long as he's safe to slide and kind of run the bases, I think he's going to be back. And I mean, the man's just superhuman. And I think what he's going to do is definitely provide some of that stability and consistency that this offense is lacking. But I mean, you can't be getting shut out by the Rockies. So not a good loss. Not that any loss is good, but some losses are better than others, and this was not a good loss. All right. All that said, let's go back. We're going to go in the way, way, way back machine. We're going to go April 21st, 1895. It was the first running of the Penn Relays at Franklin Field, which Franklin Field was open specifically for the Penn Relays, which I did not know. I thought it was for the Penn football team, but no, it was specifically for the Penn Relays, and they adapted it for football. It's the second oldest stadium in the United States. Oldest football, I guess. The oldest stadium is Churchill Downs, which I guess technically I would not necessarily consider that a stadium, but it was listed as the oldest. So depending on what you define as a stadium, but Franklin Field. But back to the Penn Relays, it's the largest high school, college, and Olympic or one of the largest meets. I remember going when I ran track, I was a shot put and discus guy, but in high school and just sitting in the stands and just being amazed at just the quality of the athletes that came into the Penn Relays. And it just was a good time. Like we would go down to a day or two, and just watch. Like it was a lot of fun. And it was the largest uninterrupted track meet in the United States, going nonstop through from 1895 on. Unfortunately, 2020 and 2021 was canceled due to COVID. So I don't know where it kind of ranks now. I mean, if you want to put that as an asterisk, it's probably still the longest uninterrupted track meet. But I just remember, like I said, sitting in the stands and just being amazed at like the Jamaican teams coming in and just how fast they were battling with the United States. Obviously, we went a lot of times on the high school days because of being a high school track team, but just a lot of fun. So on this day back in 1895, the Penn Relays was first run. All right, we're going to go now to our Eagles draft pick spotlight. This time next week, we're going to be dissecting and discussing our first round draft pick or picks, or trade, depending on what Howie decides to do. But today we're going to spotlight Siran Stacy, the Geneva, Alabama native, was a second-round pick, number 48 overall, running back out of Alabama in 1992. Had a pretty decent career at Alabama, over 2,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, had 62 catches, and a touchdown. So he was a pretty decent receiver out of the backfield too, at a time when running backs kind of started to become that dual threat like that. In the NFL, he only played one game and was cut after the 1992 season. And I guess you could say the Eagles were quote-unquote loaded at running back in 1992. More so just like the name recognitions. I mean, they had Byers, James Joseph, who we talked about earlier this week, Heath Sherman, who we've also talked about, Herschel Walker, and then they had Vi Sikahema, who was in the running back room, but obviously was the punt returner for us. So there just wasn't a lot of opportunities, and I remember thinking when they drafted him, he was going to be that guy for the Eagles. Who, for me, like we were craving. We always wanted that running back, and we just never had it. Unfortunately, that offseason, he was arrested for disorderly conduct and had a lot of off-the-field issues that hindered his NFL career. He did manage to play 4 years up in Canada. In 2007, he was involved in a car wreck where the driver of the other car, Siran's wife, and 4 of his children died. So obviously he fell into a deep depression, but he's used that as fire to start a second career now as a motivational speaker. Travels around the country talking a lot of times to churches and things like that. So he was able to turn a negative into a positive. But Siran Stacy, second round, number 48 overall in 1992 by the Eagles out of Alabama. Hopefully, let's go Sixers. Let's wrap it up tomorrow. I want to see the Phils come out with a little bit more fire on offense today. This has been This Day in Philly Sports History. I am Jim Montgomery. Go have yourselves a Friday, and until next time, I will see you when I see you.